Hello, welcome to class 3 of our family series. If you want to catch up, our previous classes are linked in the description below, so please check that out. Today we are going to work on our backwards skating. Very exciting. We are also going to hop and do a little jump. Let's start with our backwards skating. Just like how we started forward, we are going to start walking backward. We don't need to roll right away. We are just going to take little steps to get going. So what I want you to do first is turn your toes in like this. When we were going forward, we had our heels together. Now we are going to do the opposite. So I want you to turn your toes in, bend your knees a little bit. It's really difficult to not look at your toes, but just trust that they are there. I want you to keep your chin up and your eyes looking straight ahead. When you're doing this, I want you to tighten up your tummy and keep your arms strong and out as much as possible. There is nothing to be afraid of when you are starting to backward skate because our toe stops or toe plugs are right here and really easy to set down if we need them. So there's nothing to be afraid of as long as we keep our knees bent, our tummy tight, our arms out, and your chin up. All right, so with your toes in, I want you to start taking little steps backward. Just little steps. Eventually, you might start to roll. From here, you may just start rolling as you go. The same rules apply when you are rolling backward as when you are rolling forward. You want to make sure your feet are next to each other. If they are going at an angle, you might hit both feet together and fall over. We definitely don't want to do that. So we want to keep our feet straight in a line even when we're rolling backward. So from this position and walking like this, you want to make your feet go straight so that they can roll straight back. When you start rolling backward, make sure to keep the knees bent. You're probably annoyed with me saying that already, but definitely keep your knees bent. Keep that tummy tight, keep the arms strong, keep them out if you can, and keep your chin up. Like I said earlier, our toe stop or our toe plug is right there, ready to save us if we need it. So let's work on that. Let's work on stopping backward. If you are starting to roll, your feet will probably be straight, hopefully, and then we can just set that toe stop down. When we're rolling forward, we have to pick it up and reach and then drag. When we're skating backward, it's a lot easier. We simply put one toe stop down. Eventually, you can put both toe stops down. You may see people do that, but for now, I just want you to put one toe stop down. With pretty much everything we learn, we want to practice both sides. So as you really start practicing, bend into it, put one toe stop down, and then the next time, bend into it, put the other toe stop down. When you put the toe stop down, you don't need to put a ton of weight into it. You don't need to press down into the ground with it too hard. You can just press down a little bit and it will stop you. Your stop doesn't need to be super quick. It can take a little while. It's actually kind of more fun if it takes a little while so that you can go slowly into it. However, if you do need to stop quickly, I do want you to put a lot more weight into that and bend both knees as you do it. When you are stopping, please make sure that your tummy stays tight. If you loosen it up, we most likely will fall forward like this. So you want to keep that tummy tight so that when you bend, the booty just goes down toward the ground instead of out like this. Now, what most of you are probably waiting for, we are going to work on jumping or hopping. A lot of us love to jump. Some of us do not like to jump too much. I don't like to jump too much. It is fun, but I like my feet on the ground. We're all different. We all like different things. So there's nothing wrong with loving to jump on your skates, and there's nothing wrong with not loving to jump on your skates. There is plenty for all of us to do. Today, we are going to work on hopping. I'm going to call it hopping because I'm not going to jump too high off the ground. Very important, when we are hopping, is our bent knees. Before and after our jump, we are going to bend our knees. We are going to start with our hands out like this. I want you to bend, and then I don't want you to jump yet. We're gonna do the arms first. So I want you to bend, and then come up just a little bit and pull your arms into your chest. So we're gonna go from here, bend, and pull your arms in like this. I put my hand like this in a fist, and then I cover it with the other hand, and I squeeze really tight. So bend, and come up like this. And then you can come back out. Bend, up, squeeze, and come back out and bend again. When our hands are up like this, that is when we are going to be up in the air. Before you start jumping, a few very important things we need to go over. Like I said, before and after the jump, we need to bend. The next thing is, when our hands are up like this, we need to make sure our hips don't go forward and don't go back too much. Our hips will stay where they are. We're just going to use our knees to jump straight up and come right back down. So as you jump, make sure your hips aren't going whoop or whoop like that. Keep them where they are. Bend the knees, drop the booty down, and then when you do jump, you're gonna jump from the knees and come right back down. Let's go ahead and put all of that together. From here, we're going to bend. As we jump up, we're gonna pull our hands in, come back down, put our hands back out. And we can practice this over and over and over again. Bend. When you land, again, make sure that your booty is going toward the ground and you're bending into your knees. Your hips aren't moving too much. That one can get a little tiring, so please make sure you take breaks. If you are getting tired, if you do fall down at all, that is totally okay, totally normal. Do what we talked about in the first class. Try to pick a booty to sit down on. Take a little break, make sure your hands are off the ground, and then work your way back up and try again. If you need to take your skates off and take a longer break, totally okay. Make sure you drink some water, take a few deep breaths, and then get your skates back on and try it again. All right, let's take a little break from our jumping. We are going to work on our pushing. If you like to skate fast, this is the key to it. I like to skate fast, and I like to push really hard. I am not very big. I am pretty short for an adult, but I like to use my legs and get them really strong and push really hard so I can skate really fast. When we're pushing, we're going to be pushing to the side a little bit. We're gonna make sure that we don't push straight back like this. If you push straight back on roller skates, you're not going to go anywhere. You're just gonna end up doing this. So we want to push to the side. Now we don't want to push fully to the side. We're going to push to the diagonal back there. Back there, back there. As you're doing that, as you're starting to practice that, I want you to really try to dig in with your big toe wheel. So this wheel right here, I want you to dig in and push from right there. Push. Push. When you are doing this, again, make sure your hips aren't doing anything crazy as you're pushing. When you're pushing, you're gonna drop that booty down, make sure your knees are bent, and then push and push. You can keep your arms out for balance and lean into it a little bit, lean into it a little bit. To practice our pushing, I want us to start pushing in a circle. So I want you to pick a circle. You can either go to your left or you can go to your right. Eventually, I want you to go to your left and then to your right and do a figure 8. It'll make an 8 on the ground. Left and then right. When you're doing this, I want you to pick your side and then push with the opposite. So if I turn around and I'm going to be pushing to my left, I'm going to bend into my left leg and push my right skate out at a diagonal. And push and push. Push and push. When you do this, I want you to start to feel how you're pressing to the outside of your skate. So if I'm skating to my left, I'm going to be pressing to the outside of my left skate. That just means that I'm pressing to the outer wheels out here. It's almost like I'm pressing on my baby toe and to the side of my foot when I'm doing that. If you can feel that, great. If you're not really feeling that right away, that's okay. Just as you're practicing, start to think about that, how you're pressing to the outside, and then you're pushing with the other skate out to the side. Now, when your skate is out to the side after you pushed, I want you to make that leg really strong. So you're pushing and then you're making that leg really strong. What I mean by that is when you're like this, you can see your muscle right here and you can feel it. It's really strong and it's really tight. Also, right here, this should be really strong and you should be able to kind of point your foot when it's out like that. A lot of dancers point their toes. Skaters do the same thing. So when you're pushing, you want to point that toe that it's up in the air, bring it back down, point, bring it back down. The last thing I want to go over in today's class is pushing off of our toe stops. So before we used our toe stops to stop, now we're going to push off of them. So what I want you to do is pick one side. I'm going to put my right toe stop down, and I want you to put pressure into that and then push back. Like that. Just get used to that first. Bending and rolling your other skate forward. Eventually, we're going to bend and push and pick up our skate that's in back. So now, instead of using our entire skate to push, we're going to use our toe stop. Push. Now, once you have pushed and you figured that out, I want you to put the skate down and roll. So we're going to push and then roll. All right, practice that a few times. Make sure you are really pointing your toe once you fully push off of that toe stop. And then when you're rolling, you bend into your knees. You can keep your arms out the entire time. Sometimes you can put it at your waist if you need help tightening up your tummy. You can put it right here on your tummy. Push and roll. Make sure you're keeping that chin straight and not looking down as you do that. Now we can kind of put everything together. So we can push off of our toe stop, we can roll, then we can jump, and then we can use our toe stop to stop. So let's try that a few times. We're going to push off of our toe stop. Arms out, tummy tight, chin up, push, roll, hop, and stop. Push, roll, hop, and stop. Roll the shoulders back, keep them strong, arms out, tummy tight, bend, push, roll, hop, and stop. That rhymes. Push, roll, hop, and stop. A lot of these things that we've learned, you can start to put together. So if you're just outside skating, you can work on your hopping, as long as you're remembering to bend your knees and keep that booty down toward the ground. You can work on your stopping, and you can turn around backward and work on your stepping backward and even your rolling backward. All right, that's the end of our third class. We have 2 more, and I'll see you on the next one.